Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity with Tracks 2.
Yes?
So, we're going to continue down here. Last time we had words with both of the people in Aloth's head, and this time we're going to continue on our quest, which is to find the man who waits, a Leaden-Key acolyte in the sanitarium, who's apparently a patient and trying to get to the... Hello, Modred. The Animancer scribbles feverishly on a parchment scroll while his free hand dances through the air, counting off unseen objects. His lips move in silent discourse. As the shadows falls over his scroll, he looks up at you with mingled perplexity and irritation.
Hail, traveler.
Can I help you? He forces a polite smile. Anything unusual been happening around here? You must be joking. This is the sanitarium. Nothing is usual down here. He pauses. Although now that I think of it, the patients seem more agitated lately, but they're Caedmon Azo's responsibility, not mine. Then, if there's nothing else, I'll be on my way. Right, I'm looking for, Caedmon Azo, whoever that is. What's the, missed it. Yep, okay, so I'm looking for Caedmon Azo, who's presumably over this way. Right, guards. Ripley? Are you the believe it or not guy? Hello, Ripley.
Hello.
A young Orlan woman traces her fingers along the spines of the books in front of her, row by row, her motions quick and skittish like a bird's. She does not notice you until you are nearly upon her. Oh my, you startled me. Are you supposed to be in here? I'm investigating any suspicious activity in the sanitarium. Oh, I'm just Master Azo's assistant. He'd know more about that, but he's in the middle of busy with some patients. You won't be able to see him until he comes out of the patient ward. If there's nothing else, I need to get back. How do I... Well, simply prove that you're crazy. Is he busy with patients or running an experiment? I'm just an assistant, not my place to gossip. How do I get into the patient ward? Only Master Azo has access. I guess Head Warden Ethelmore does too, but he's, a statue now. Farewell. Talk to Ethelmore about Azo. Brilliant. Up the
Yes?
stairs we go. Where's our map? Let's go this way. And fast mode, because slow mode is for suckers and combat. Up the stairs and we'll talk to the statue, which seems like a really weird thing to do, but our house is technically alive, so Caed Nua. I wonder what Caed means in the local dialect. Because we have Caed, he called him Caedmon Azo, and our house is Caed Nua, so.
Good day, stranger.
Have you learned anything of interest? Maybe. Is Caedmon Azo running experiments on the patients here? Experiments? Caedmon Azo is in charge of patient welfare now. He's not authorized to run any more experiments. I am disappointed in Caedmon. I had hoped he would be the one to guide your inquiry. He'll be in his office or in the patient wards. I am granting you immediate access so you can find him. No doubt you will wish to speak to him further on this matter, and I for one am curious as to what he might have to say. Tread carefully in the wards. There are a few dangerous cases. I would also ask that you do your best not to agitate the patients. They have enough troubles as it is. Farewell. Yep, investigate the patient ward. Why do I have a feeling that Azo was working for the Leaden-Key? Just because that's the sort of thing that would happen. Also, this is the second game in this style that I've ended up wandering through a sanitarium. Although the last one was Baldur's Gate, and the sane people were the best thing to happen in that part of the quest. The patients were, I mean to say. Head Warden says you can go in. Be careful in there. Okay. Flesh constructs. Patients. More patients. I'm kind of curious as to why there are flesh constructs in here, but okay. Ah, there's another room. Here we go. Flesh construct. Flesh construct. It's down here at the end of this hallway. Carefully around the flesh golems. Right. Hello? Keep your distance. The white's in that cell back there. We've had incidents when people got too close. Fair enough. Presumably this is to Azo's office. Just some cash. And this one? More cash. This one's stealing. This one's not. Okay, sure, whatever. We'll play by the rules. No secret doorway, which is nice. Last thing you want in your sanitarium is a secret doorway for people to escape from. Hello. Better go check in here. Lockpicks. Yeah, that's what we want in the sanitarium. Lockpicks so they can pick their way out. Sure. Alright, no doors there. Let's head back this way. What about this side? Let's go ahead and rush. It's a patient. Not bother the patient. We were asked specifically not to bother the patient, which is fine by me. I understand that we're wandering around heavily armed, but frankly, I'd rather something churns and bubbles in this tank. And copper wires and conduits are shiny. The device is warm to the touch.
I'll handle this.
Oh, no, leave it alone. Thank you. Aha, Cademan Azo. Warm to the touch, bubbles and churns and bubbles. Let's quick save. Just because. Hello, Cademan Azo. A round-faced, balding man turns to face you. His upper lip is pulled upward slightly by his pointed nose, exposing his upper teeth when he scowls.
What is the meaning of this?
Ethelmore told me you're not supposed to be doing any more experiments. Yes, well, Ethelmore hasn't done much good for anybody since he had his soul moved to an inanimate object, so I fail to see why I should let that sway me. If animancers all followed the commands of their leaders, where would we be? We'd all be as backward and willfully ignorant as Red Ceres. We would know nothing about life or death, or even ourselves. We would be lost in the dark with no clues to why. Our leaders guide us, and without them we risk losing our way. If this man would strike off on his own, then let him fend for himself, without the benefit of the sanitarium. Surely there are other paths that don't involve risking lives.
Indeed. Many lives have been spent in such pursuits, writing treatises and poems. But tell me this, how does one verify the truth of a poem? If some philosopher stumbled across the meaning of our existence, how would we know it from a false one? These are wasted lives. In animancy there is progress. We are measurably closer to complete understanding because of our work. And that will be true until our work is complete. Who will solve Widewen's legacy? Some church? Some warrior? It will be an animancer, or it will be no one at all.
Really? I heard you were demoted. How did it happen? Azo's nostrils flare, and he bares his upper teeth more broadly. That's none of your concern. Did one of the others put you up to this? Oddmirror, that smug weasel. Things went wrong. Everything. I don't know how. I'll never know. He spits on the floor as if to remove a bitter taste from his mouth. Tried your experiments out on any other subjects? I have, yes. No point in lying about it, now that Ethelmore's involved. I asked for volunteers from our patients, and a few brave souls came forward. I was very close at one time to a breakthrough. They understood that. They understood their sacrifices would mean something. I need to know if you've seen any unusual behavior out of your patients. You're going to get a lot of looks asking questions like that in the sanitarium for the unbalanced. In truth, I've spent little time treating them since I've been reduced to my capacities. You might have luck with some of our more functional patients. They tend to congregate in the main area, just past the entrance to the patient wards. Farewell. Right. So, he turned out not to be the complete loon I expected. Which is rather surprising, but what's back here? Nothing of interest. Presumably what we're looking for is a named patient. Alright, let's grab our map because I can't find our way back. Alright, let's go here. And we'll sprint, or rather go fast. Alright, we're looking for anybody with a name. A curved spine twists this woman's posture forward, her greasy hair draped over her eyes like large eyes like vines. She smiles at you. You must be visiting someone. Then, noting your appearance, she adds, a friendly visit, I hope. Uh, what do you know about Azo? Oh, I like him very much. Many animators could care less about their patients. Look at us like vermin for their experiments. But Master Azos treats us like humans, even the very sick. You can tell he does this to help people. He's helped me understand a great deal about myself, and I know he's done the same for others. It's too bad what they did to him. He hides it well, but I know he's still affected by it. What happened to him? Friel's eyes dart back and forth, and her voice lowers to just above a whisper. They don't like to talk about it, but there was an accident. He was said to be one of the brightest in Deerwood. That was his reputation here, and that was what brought me to seek treatment. People say it was ego that drove him to try and solve the legacy, but that's hogwash, even if he was a bit of a showman. He loves his homeland. He thought that he could help. He wasn't one to speak of his work, suspected his colleagues might have tried to steal it, but he told me once that he figured out a way to create a soul. Okay. Not a soul exactly, mind you. How did he put it? A proxy, I think he called it. Had some machine that drew energy out of the very ether. Can you imagine? The point is, it was going to help with the legacy. It was going to make the Hollowborn into something easier to love and care for. Gods know that's something we need. Do you know what they call those empty little babies in Andra's gift? No, tell me. They call them buoys, because so many of them are found floating face down in the water. These are mad times. Anyway, Master Azo had scheduled a public demonstration of his work in the Copper Lane. He was so excited. And then, the next day, he was locked in his office, turning away visitors, I heard, and he stopped seeing patients. I don't know what happened, exactly what happened, and I don't have the heart to ask him, but I'm glad they're letting him treat people again. Have any of the patients been acting unusually? Well, there's Batixa, who relives a murder she committed more than 5 lifetimes ago. Idleman, who they say only has half a soul and was found collecting the faces of others because he believed his own to be a false one. Graham, he speaks in a language no one understands and wails at night sometimes. Different from their normal behavior. Well, yes, I suppose, but nothing they didn't volunteer for. Master Azo let us know that a number of patients in the North Ward had volunteered for new therapy and would be escorted to his laboratory to receive treatment. The North Ward has our most troubled cases. I'm glad some of them have chosen to get help. It seems to me it's gotten quieter over there since it started. It's Graham I see them taking in the most. He struggles, but he was always a bit of a wild one. Why are you in here? He asks. Behind her hair, her cheeks flush. I don't want to say. You'll think less of me. I'm listening. These last few years haven't been kind to me. I haven't been kind to anyone, really. I try not to think of it as personal. I lost my husband and both boys in the Saints' War. My daughter, the legacy took her before she was ever mine. I made do. What else can you do? I moved into a tiny place in Under's Gift. Got by mending clothes and on the kindness of strangers when I had to. But I was surviving, and the gods were watching over me. I could live with that. Then, one day, this noblewoman comes in. Wants this fancy gown fixed. Gorgeous thing, this shade of blue I'd never seen before. Only I had. I looked at it, and it reminded me of something. I had what they call an awakening. I remembered being a noblewoman myself in another life. People doting over me. Men doting over me. Me. The best food, the most beautiful home, all the things you'd never dare to dream of. They were mine. It was poison, knowing that. All those things I had that I'll never have in this life. It did something to me. My food started to taste rotten. The walls of my little room seemed to close in around me. I stopped being able to sleep in my own bed. Excuse me. Thank you. So I came here. It was that or break into an estate and start ordering servants around. Seems like such a silly thing to worry about. You don't have to tell me. But I can't get past it. And I start to wonder, did the gods choose this life for me? And if so, what terrible thing must I have done to deserve it? Maybe you'll get there again one day. If not in this life, then in another. Strange part is that I think even the best wouldn't be good enough for me anymore. I think it must have gotten to that point when I was that noble lady. Farewell. Interview Graham in the North Ward. Right. Oh, right. Oh, I guess I'll have to ask her again.
Hail and well met.
Would I be able to visit the North Ward? They like to keep them separate. I don't know that I've ever seen the guards allow a visitor. Just Master Azo. You might ask him. He's very sympathetic. Okay. Farewell. Alright, so we literally have to talk to Azo. Okay. Guess maybe I should have talked to them first. Who knows? Let's sprint, or let's fast mode. Did you... Seriously? Ah, the door's closed, that's why. I suspect I may have done that and forgot that I'd done it. Because I'm nothing if not brilliant.
What is it now?
I'd like access to the North Ward. Now to the question. Those patients are in isolation for a reason. I wish I had perception. So you can coerce them into experiments? Frail told me everything.
She's a patient! That blazing woman knows nothing of the nature of my experiments.
Uh-huh. He balls up his fist and digs his teeth into his index finger, a growl simmering beneath his breath and a deep scowl compressing his face.
Fine. Speak to them for all the good it'll do you. I'm sure the discussions will be fascinating.
He pulls a heavy key from one of his pockets and nearly slams it down on the floor before handing it to you. Farewell. Alright. Where's the North Ward? Maybe it's this one, I think. Right. I mean, this looks like north to me, but I might be wrong. Yeah, looks like a map to me, or north to me. Okay. Maybe that's not the one. Maybe it's this one. Yeah. Aha! Key to the North Ward. North Ward key, thank you. Step inside here. Okay, step inside here, thank you. Let's close that behind us. Right. Talk to the door. Is this my face? Tell me. Come on. Ah, I see we have to. Hello? Thundering sky, rain of blood, innocent must drown. Well, he's clearly a politician. Nope.
These poor people. This isn't the treatment that they were promised upstairs by the cushioned seats and lush carpets.
No, Kana, no it was not.
Is that the cure for soul sickness? To be thrown into a cell and subjected to the whims of your captor?
I doubt wealthier citizens would have the same experience. I'm sure they have their share of family members they'd rather forget. But if all were treated like this, the sanitarium would never survive. What did these people do to warrant such conditions? There are just as many who come here and are cured of their ills, people who would otherwise be cast aside. I hope so. You're probably right. It's just hard to see. Let's be on our way. This place gnaws at the soul. Yeah, tell me about it. I imagine this is the door we need. A scrib. A willowy adolescent boy stands in the center of his cell, gawkish and stoop-shouldered. He stares straight ahead, the occasional blink his only movement, and it is unclear whether he registers your presence at all behind his glassy, doll-like eyes. In this state, the barriers between your soul and his are thin and porous, easily bypassed if you should wish it. Just a moment. Right, sorry about that. Let's reach out for his soul, although this might be a really bad idea. Close your eyes and edge forward toward the boy's soul. And as you near, a sudden malaise comes over you. You are cold and warm all at once, sweating and shivering and straining for breath, as you did on the caravan journey. The soul you approach is the wrong one, a parasitic plant that strangles its host. It is predatory and pitiless, and you have crossed paths with it before. Too late does it occur to you to retract, and already you feel yourself plunging into some interminable abyss of thought and memory. You are standing in a cell now, the same cell in the sanitarium. The halls are moonlit and empty, and you are waiting. At the far end of the ward the door opens, revealing a flesh golem in silhouette beneath the stone archway. It makes its usual rounds, the same stops every time, the misbegotten child of despondent creators. When the construct is close, you coil yourself up and spring forward, passing out of the boy's body as though it were a membrane. You can sense his body behind you, collapsing to the floor, a puppet whose strings are cut. You are rushing toward the golem now, bodiless as a gust of wind. Quickly, you think to yourself quickly, and you feel the strength hemorrhaging from your soul as you dart towards the makeshift abomination. You pass into the golem shell and overtake the soul implanted within it, encircling it, suppressing it, and contained in this new vessel you are strong again. You step heavy-footed down corridors, unheeded by other constructs and scrutinized only by the wary, untrustworthy eyes of the mad, coming at last to an office piled with books and scribbled papers and the perverse implements of animancy. You set your oversized hands upon a large machine, a nest of globes and tubes and coils in the center of the room, and go to work, bending wires and unsettling alignments. Your surroundings are pulled past you, or perhaps you are pulled past them, and they dissolve into a blur. When they settle into place again, you are outside on a clear day, standing in front of a crowd stacked high above you on the tiered seats of an amphitheater. You are acting for the crowd, standing deliberately still, but this is no play. A balding man with rodent-like features is strapping you to a machine, the one you had tampered with. You see your arms for the first time, short and fleshy, unmistakably those of a little girl, but this body is not truly yours. Your mind still holds the same determination, the same hard-heartedness as before. The body itself is cold and vacuous. Unlike the others, this one has no soul of its own. The man speaks, and the crowd applauds with an enthusiasm worthy of a hero's entrance. Bear witness, he says, and he pulls a lever. The machine shivers and sparks, and a bead of sweat rolls down the side of the man's brow, but the crowd's apprehension quickly gives way to awe as a crystal globe fills with a radiant mist that casts the entire theater aglow. He opens a valve, and the globe crawls through a tube along the length of copper wiring that runs to a set of electrodes beneath your armpits. You feel nothing when it reaches you, as it should be, for you have been leading his work astray periodically for some time, altering notes and settings and playing puppeteer for Hollowborn. But you make it look how people would expect it to look when a body is infused with a soul. In a moment the machine goes dark, and the man unstraps you, eyeing you with a scientist's concern. He looks back up at the crowd. "Behold," he says, but there is obvious hesitation in his voice. Slowly you take a plodding step forward, then another and another. You look up at the man, giving him the eye contact of which no Hollowborn is capable, and the crowd gasps. The man looks relieved. "How do you feel?" he asks at a volume meant for the crowd, and this is the moment. At the top of your lungs you let out a piercing shriek. The man comes towards you, his hands outstretched, but you run the other way, back to the machine. With all your strength you drive your head into the crystal globe, and it shatters, streaking your head with warm blood. You drive your head down onto the surface of the machine again and again, drawing panicked screams from the crowd, and by the time the man reaches you, your body has already ceased proper function and merely twitches on the cold ground. Satisfied, you depart the corpse in search of another unsuspecting host. Who could put their faith in animancy now? You are pulled again from your surroundings, transcending the boundaries of memory and lifetimes, deeper and deeper, past betrayals and murders and lies upon lies, that form the thick webbing of plots beyond mortal comprehension. You settle at last on a room you have seen before. Expansive, with a tall device encasing an Adra monolith at its center. The room is filled with people, and all the people look at the device. The people all look at the device. You are yanked suddenly back to reality, and the once catatonic boy in the cell is looking directly at you, appraising, calculating. There's no mistaking now that it is the soul of the man who caused your awakening that gazes out from the borrowed husk. A watcher. I believe we share a common past. I'm just looking for some answers. Is that so? He makes no effort to hide his disinterest, but he continues to search your eyes. He makes a slight grunting noise, and his eyes soften for an instant, and it seems, for that moment, that he recognizes you. When he opens his mouth to speak, then seems to think better of what he is about to say. His jaw tightens. I know your look. You hunger. Hunger for answers that elude you. It gnaws at your soul. It usurps your reason for being. You are like everyone. I will help you let go. He dodges backward with startling grace, putting himself out of reach. On his face there is no malice, only the dispassion of a farmer putting down a sick animal. Then, suddenly, he slumps forward. Uh-oh. And now it's fight time. Oh, crud. Okay. Get stabbing. Right. Okay. Mr. Wizard. There's a left. Think we could get some fire. There we go. More death. More death, please. How about another one? See how many we can whack at once. Yeah, there we go. Back out a little bit. See, there we go. Right. Okay, Edder's killed somebody. I have a suspicion that that was not how we were supposed to do that. Alright, let's kill this guy and then we can finish off the rest of them. Excuse me, you guys gonna help? No? Okay. Right. Vessel flesh. Yay. There we go.
Of course.
And is that everything?
Yes?
Right. And in the bucket. Then we have scroll of minor endurance. Chains grown with added weight. Crescent bite marks pit the edges of the cot. Bucket reeks of awful. Right. So, the Leaden Key Acolyte showed me a vision of an agent in a place of misery and madness. Need to find a man. Uncovered a Leaden Key operative in the sanitarium. He has the ability to possess those with weak souls and was using one of the patients to influence Caedmon Azo's animancy research. Okay. Which presumably means I need to go speak to Caedmon Azo again. Let's go see if there's anything more I can do for him. Oh. Right. Yes, because I locked the door on purpose. Oh, hi. Right, somebody, let's get out of the way. Now, let's make the smashing. Yeah. Oh, hello, hang on. Take that. Let's go this way. We're going to run into any more dead patients we have to kill? I hope not. Caedmon Azo. What have you done? I don't have time for this. Okay. Apparently I don't. Let's go. Right. Let's go stab some more vessels. Don't stand in the middle of the flippin' doorway, please. Oh good, whites. Yes. Terminate the whites. The blacks and whites. Alright. Party AI is active, so... Alright. Head this way. Oh, got another vessel to kill. I have no idea what that did, but... Okay. In here. Let's go kill that guy next. Can you please not use all your spells in one shot? What the heck was he immune to? Arcane Assault. Okay. No idea what Arcane Assault does, but alright. Oh, hello. These guys are kind of squishy.
That's it.
Hello. Ooh, more gold. Right. Right, there we go. What's over here? Oh look, another construct. Right.
Charge!
Right. Did we not get anything from that? Okay. Fair enough. Right, I guess that's everybody. Excuse me, thank you. More vessel flesh. Lovely. Any more dead people out here? Nope, Modred's fine. Belisig is fine. Check in here. Dented and scored with claw marks, right. Let's check this guy again. One more time, and then we'll go upstairs and have a word with Ethelmore. Let's quick save in case he decides he wants to have a fight. It'll be some time before things calm down here. Well, that didn't go quite as well as I was hoping, and we never did speak to Graham, but he did kind of get dead, so getting out of here. It's not safe anymore. Okay. Right. Yeah, well. Oh, looks like we've run a little over time, but let's talk to Ethelmore, and then I'll end the episode. Right. What the blazes happened down there? You were given permission to ask questions. It's complicated. A patient of yours, Uskgrim, was working for the Leaden Key, only without knowing it. You finish your explanation, and Ethelmore breaks his silence. I have read accounts of people in history who could do what you describe. The accounts are few and brief and never reliable. Some go far as to suggest that they are all the same person. If truly such a person was here among us, plotting our ruin, would that I had a body again, and could be of some real use in our time of need. I fear what the future may hold for this place. I am grateful you were able to dispatch the threat before there was loss of innocent life. We very nearly had another scandal on our hands. What of Azo? What part did his experiments play in this catastrophe? Azo was only trying to help the patients. The Leaden Key took advantage of him. I should have known better than to isolate him. Of course he would resort to deception. The wiser thing would be to allow his experiments, with close oversight, of course. A mind like his must be allowed a chance to create. Okay, then. Well, let's get out of here, because this place is really creepy. Presumably someone will want to have a chat with us as soon as we step outside, but if not, I will exit the episode, or end the episode. Yeah. Why a fox of all animal companions, I guess? I mean, you would expect a wolf or a bear to be more useful, but then again, I suppose Intermac's actually pretty potent. At least as long as he's within reach of a...
So, Alaf, have you ever woken up to find your other half used your body during the night?
I don't think I understand you. And I'm not sure I want to.
Oh.
Well, I've found that if I go to
Hello.
sleep hungry enough, I wake up covered in blood and delightfully full.
Ah. Just thanks. Beg your pardon, I have a message for you. You are summoned to Hadrat House where Lady Webb wishes to meet with you as soon as possible. They say she's an ancient spider spinning her nets throughout the city. He gives you a careful look. If she wishes to see you, that either bodes very well or very ill. Uh, how did you know where to find me? Well, it's Lady Webb. She knows everything. Where can I find Hadrat House? Just over there, my lord. Southwest corner of Brackenbury. You'll find the lady upstairs. Very well. Alright, Lady Webb wants to talk to us. So, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. And next time, we will go talk to, apparently, the Spider Queen. This has been Pillars of Eternity with Tracks 2. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.